Maven and Steve Rummage.
Evening that we had.
That's transitioning into a day here, and man, I mean, it's the first day of college basketball. We had that going for us.
I'm excited to watch Jeff Walz and the women today. I'm excited to watch Chris Mack and the men today. All that's going to be happening, so that's going to be fun. And then just out of left field, we get another little nugget we'll get to. So yeah, well, a lot of just all kinds of stuff.
Brian Hall in the booth. Brian, what's going on, my man?
Nothing. I've been talking to both y'all off air. I'm super excited for college basketball today. It's just really nice. It's a rainy day, which is actually almost perfect for college basketball.
Wait,
and
what?
You got a Louisville matchup at 4:00, which I'm going to watch live. I'm going to pre-record my Western game, and then I'm going to catch.
I could be dying on air.
The way it's going to work is 4:00 is going to start 4 to 6. We're going to have Louisville basketball
Brian.
all the way. Then I can probably fast forward.
Will
to
somebody
the Western game
donate
in about
him
an hour? Get
some
that done by about
please.
5:00, and then by about.
If you'll bring him to the studio, I swear he'll
7:00, and then I'm going to catch the last hour of the Kentucky beatdown when they're getting beat. When Morehead State's beating Kentucky, I mean,
Brian.
Yeah.
We had this discussion off air.
Yeah.
I brought you the single earpiece headphones.
Sorry.
When Steve is in Tennessee, you have literally got.
Well, why don't you just not cut me off?
No, because it's a conversation, Brian. It's
this crazy thing where like we're the on-air host, and there's times we got to talk. So it's kind of a wild concept.
You've got to get at least a single earpiece.
That's fine, but did he try to talk a whole sentence over me?
17 times he tried to, go back and forth with you.
Okay, I got my earpiece now.
Okay,
there we go.
Okay, Steve, listen. I'm not going to do anything other than 8150 93.9 is the number. 3831. See if you can pull that game down a little bit on your end, Steve.
Okay. And by the way, did y'all say it was a rainy day?
Steve, don't be a show off.
Well, I'll say it looks
Steve,
beautiful.
You got me flagged last night too. Watch your language. YouTube from now on. Those little things that you don't think are curse words, they're curse words, Steve.
What was it?
We'll have that discussion later on. But
okay. I was like, I don't even cuss. Like,
listen, I got one of those limited like children can't hear what you had to say, Steve. And I got booted from one level of censorship.
Fair enough.
I got one more thing for you guys.
They're taking over. Go ahead, y'all.
How about the voting on the 3-on-3? I just wanted to see what y'all thought about that.
I'm listening. You tell me the results.
So the results, let's see, about 150 votes in. We got one team of David Johnson, Jalen, the Hulk, JJ, at 43.5%.
Okay.
We got a Davis, Sam, Q. Or I'm sorry, Slazinski, and Gabe. That one is at 3.6%. And then we got a team with Carleek, Malik, Minlin, and Newberry. What is that? 52.9?
Does Brian, do you know how angry everybody is right now? We're sitting here.
The coach might be leaving, Brian.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Brian wants to brag about the rankings on the fantasy.
I just had to throw it in there. Okay, you guys just hold.
Okay, Steve, let's go.
Don't be bitter.
Right. Let's get this thing working. You want to reset the news, or is it just everybody knows the news? We are so self-centered. We think everybody was on the live with us last night. We think that everybody is caught up to 100% speed. We're not. Where do you want to start, Steve?
Geez, I mean, I guess you could just do. I mean, at this point, most people know the situation. Most people know what's going on. I mean, obviously, it was the Athletic last night put out there an article, said that South Carolina, up to this point, they're ready to kick it into high gear to get their coaching search done by mid-December, before the early signing period. And they said that they had already interviewed Coastal Carolina's head coach. They were looking at Little Beamer from Oklahoma. They wanted to have an in-person interview with him. And Coach Scott Satterfield from Louisville. They wanted to have an in-person interview on him.
Right.
So, or with him. So with that being said, then that obviously sparked a nice little Twitter time, and then we got some information from Louisville Athletic Director Vince Tyre, who said that that's not the case. And then we got a statement from Scott Satterfield last night, and here we are.
When you first hear it, I want to ask this question. I want to ask the questions to the public. I want to ask your reaction to it. Is it because it seemed like a closer natural fit? Do you think the fan base reacted a little stronger than they normally do? Do you think it's the we talked about it yesterday. Do you think it's the jaded lover syndrome that came to the surface when you heard the news? How do you explain the Louisville fan base's early reaction, and can you describe what was your first reaction upon hearing the news?
Well, I'll be honest. My first reaction was kind of aggravated with it, man.
Are the phone lines open, Brian?
Yes, I was kind of aggravated with it. And reason being is you have we're coming on. We're obviously having a year that we're not super thrilled with, but he's in year 2. So, and we do, so you can kind of say, okay, you had a good year last year. This year, the wins and losses really aren't where it needs to be for us. But year 2, we're growing a program. Then you've had him kind of jumping on a few players about wanting guys that want to be here. So when I initially saw the report, I was pretty aggravated, man. I mean, just being honest, it was one of those things where,
because you believe that he had an interview scheduled.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you still believe that he had an interview scheduled?
I think I do. I think I do. Yeah. And I'm not saying that you're right or wrong or indifferent for believing otherwise. I think I do believe that, though. And you also have to add in now today, I'm really going to pull back the Steve, I enjoy talking my crap and stuff like that. But that Jeff Brom thing hurt, man.
Right.
Like, so when he didn't come here, that was like our perfect scenario guy. And of course, I know some people on the text line are gonna be like, Brom sucks, whatever. That's fine, but at the end of the day, this was a guy who was gonna come back home. We thought pretty much outside of the NFL, he wasn't going anywhere.
Right. Which Louisville greatly values,
which is why you saw the aggravation yesterday. So whoever it was, once Jeff Brom said no, I think because I'm trying to paint this whole macro picture about why Louisville fans, I think, exploded, really are very on edge with this.
So you're sitting down talking to Coach Satterfield right now in case he doesn't understand.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. When he said no, it was almost like I just watched my perfect scenario be ripped out from under me. I mean, we were done. I mean, look, when Purdue was beating Ohio State, I was bragging. That's our coach. I'm going around. Look, I'm talking to my father-in-law like, oh, it's not even coaching search. I mean, Jeff Brom, he's taking the job. You know, like, I mean, yeah, we're pumped. Like, this is it. You know, we're done. I mean, everybody was like, yeah, he's going to come in. We're going to throw the ball all over around Notre Dame. We might lose, but it's going to be a great game. And, you know, and we know what we're going to have. You know, Rondale Moore may come back. Milton Wright may stay here. I think we can get the kid that went to Nebraska. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this was the conversation.
Right.
Then when I was driving in my car and I looked down at my phone and I saw Jeff Brom's staying with Purdue.
You didn't believe it at first.
Yeah, I didn't. And it was one of those things where when that happened, and I'm coming back around here, when that happened, that was tough for a lot of Louisville fans. So then we get Satterfield. Coach Satterfield comes in. He's doing all the right things. I think we believe he's building a great program. And I don't mean that. I mean that today,
right?
Not even before. I think he's building a good, solid program here. And I like what he's doing. I love the staff he put together. He has a great year one. Then here we are right around year two. We're just we still have 2 games left in year 2, and we're not having the best season. And we have fought for you in these streets. Like, we have fought for you on the air.
Kind of put, and when you say fought for, put it on the players a little more than normal. Like, a lot of times you put his results right on the coaching staff, you know, the early defensive struggles and some, you know, guys being out of position. So that's just so we're clear. That's kind of what you're saying as far as fought for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, like absolutely.
Gave you the benefit of the doubt in situations where it could have went left or right.
Yeah. Yeah. So then when I look up and I get the news, and here's the thing, you were asked about it because you have to add all this in. You were asked about, because a little rumor float, you know, an article floated out there that said you might be a candidate. You were asked about it and you kind of brushed it off as, well, I don't have anything to say because there's nothing to say.
And again, you must reiterate, we know exactly what a brush off sounds like. We know elusive language when talking about, you know, coaching staff and coaching moves and coaching hires. That's just one of the things. Hypersensitive Louisville media is very familiar with that language and lingo. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and then so when you say that, I say, okay, well, that wasn't real strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I hear you say something like, well, there's nothing to say because I don't want to, you know, so.
And keep in mind, I don't expect every coach to address every a coaching rumor when asked about it. I don't, you know, I don't expect them, you know, just if a rumor comes out, them just rush to the, you know, the podium and say there's nothing there.
Well, and I don't expect any coach really. I said this on the live stream last night, and I don't really expect any coach ever to pigeonhole themselves out of any opportunity. Like, you know, you don't have to say, you know, I mean, you're a young guy. I don't, you know, never. What opportunity? I mean, you still have a family. You're not Steve Rummage, big fan of Louisville. You know, I mean, right. if the Cowboys or the, you know, or somebody comes through and offers you a bunch of money, don't pigeonhole yourself into a corner that says, well, he said he would never, you know. So I'm okay with that too. But still, you had an opportunity to say something. You didn't. So we said, okay, well, we're moving on here. Then I see an article that says, well, now South Carolina's ramping up their coaching search. I open the article and I see your name as a possible interview in between my last 2 games.
As a scheduled interview with others from your staff.
Right.
Which made it different. You hear a head coach here, a head coach there, and Coach Satterfield and members of his coaching staff, which again, you wear the crown of a good coach. I put the crown of great offensive line coach. I put the crown, you know, I don't want to say crown, but I'm giving you props on your offensive line play, young defensive coach. You know, I'm liking what's going on. So it makes all the stuff, you know, believable at the very, very least. I'll tell you what, Steve, get your thoughts together. The phone line's kind of getting packed. I want to get to it real quick. Andy, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to start off and just say, Satterfield, go ahead and go. If you're going to go, just go. Don't play around. Just go. Secondly, the best teams we've ever had were Charlie's teams. Charlie started the recruitment of Lamar. Go get me a defensive coach. Go get me Todd Grantham. Back the money truck up to Todd Grantham's house and let's go get him. Let's get this over with. And I'll get your thoughts. Thanks.
Andy, I appreciate the call. Weren't you here for 3rd and Grantham? Are you?
Yeah, no, look, Andy, look, we were so nice to you yesterday and gave you all the props. If they hired Todd Grantham, I'm out.
I'm coming for you first, Andy. Frank, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
It's kind of hard to follow Andy, man. But you know what? A couple of things, and I'm gonna hang up and listen. But Andy's exactly right. We probably need a defensive coach. But here's the thing. I'm kind of willing to give the man the benefit of the doubt. And the only reason why I say that is because coaches go through that process all the time. If they're successful, their name's going to be thrown around. Now, he could pull a Hugh Freeze and say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not looking to go anywhere. And that cuts all of that. That cuts all of the speculation, the rumors, that cuts it out. But he didn't do it. He played dodgeball and basically kind of did the old sidestep. So, of course, we as fans are more invested into the school than the coaches. And coaches and politicians are the same person. They're going to say what sounds good at the time until something better comes along. Now, my thing is with this is that, you know, if I'm Vince Tyra, I already have a short list in my Rolodex, because if he's doing this now in the middle of the season and we 3-6, just imagine if we become 6-3 and some big name school becomes open. So, but again, I'm kind of willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a good coach, not a great coach, but he's a good coach, and he seems to be saying the right things. But we'll see. So I'm gonna hang up and listen.
Listen, I appreciate the call. Okay, Steve. Fast forward to you reading the statement from Coach Satterfield.
Yeah, because that was the next thing. You say, okay, now we need some kind of statement. I need something from my coach, which let me be clear. I would have liked something definite to come from him. Now, Vince Tyra has done great. He's been an exceptional leader, and he has jumped out in front of about everything since he's been here. And I've told this to Vince's face. Like, I was like, man, you know, hey, you had an uphill battle fight with me. You know what I'm saying? Like right off the bat, you know, I mean, that's something I've looked right at him and said in person. And he knew that. That's the thing. He knew that. He accepted that. Not just me, but the fan base. He accepted that, look, I've got a lot, you know, I'm going to have to, they need some transparency here. They need, you know, and he's done that. So last night, again, what I wasn't a big fan of, though, is, so now this rumor's out here. Now I've got the AD, and the AD's having to say, well, no, and then, well, and he said he wants to put a statement out later, but he's got to, you know, and it was almost like, okay, so, you know, and did you just find out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was like, wait, no, I don't like that, you know. Then we get a statement, and the statement, you know, from the notes app on his phone, was normally, see, here's why I'm in such an odd position, because normally a day like today, I listen to Drew Diener, and Drew's probably listening. If so, Drew, I'm sorry. But a day like today, I listen to Drew Diener, and these are the days where I'm like, God, you just hate it. You just, come on, Drew. Like, come on. You know, like that's when he says something like, did that sound real definite to you?
Right.
And today I had to kind of agree with him.
Right.
When I read the statement, I was like, that doesn't, I mean, that definitely sounds like, hey, y'all calm down. Okay, cool. But know the room, and we don't need a y'all calm down. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this, Steve. Let me, like, just to jump in with this one. I absolutely loved his statement. Marcus Maben 100% loved his statement.
Sure.
And I want to play this game, Steve.
No, I know where you're going, and I agree with this.
You already know where I'm going with this one.
Yes, and I agree with this.
Because now I know.
Mm-hmm.
Because is that where you thought I was going?
Yeah, absolutely. It's what Andy said. I don't want to cut you off, man. I'm sorry, but it's what Andy said. Hey, okay, you're not going to be here long term.
Yeah, no. And here's the thing. Again, we know. Okay, honest coach says this in his statement or his Syracuse being questioned about it. And I don't want to say honest versus dishonest. I want to say kind of like extremely forward versus, okay, coach, it's very, very easy to say, hey, I mean, guys, this is, we are professionals. Everybody listens to every opportunity, like that's not a tough thing to say. Hey, we're all professionals. Every pro athlete who's been asked, are they going to stay with a team? Everybody who's asked if they're going to look for a better job, they say the same thing. Listen, no, I'm committed to this team, but we're all still professionals. Opportunities come up and coaches move, and you never know what situations are going to come up. Like that's a blanket. I'm not looking to go anywhere, and then that's the door to open. That's the open door to talk about what you like about your university, what you like about your athletic director, what you like about your leadership, but you just say, I'm never gonna, commit to staying anywhere forever. I'm sorry, like everybody knows that. But
and that's what I was saying earlier. I'm okay with that. You don't have to as a coach.
Right. But your gymnastics, your vocabulary gymnastics, I'm not pursuing or wasn't pursuing. Coach, I know you're not pursuing. Nobody pursues in the middle of their season, especially they don't do it themselves. Once you pass the threshold of, $3 million, you don't, my agent does that work for me to give me, a buffer, in between any school. So like, coach, that in 2020, that used to work, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you could say, I haven't talked to any teams, but we all know your agent has. We all know your intermediaries have. Like, we already knew that. Like, this is not a new song and dance. So you just can't get away with the same, I didn't technically, it's like, I always want to listen. I always think of these funny ways to picture it. I used to live in the dorms, right? And it would be like 852 and whatever your room number was. It was the phone number, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm talking to a female, right? Mm-hmm. And the female, my girlfriend, caught me or something, or got mad or whatever, right?
Yeah, and that'll work.
And she was like, you gave her your number, or something about you gave her a number. And I remember dancing around that by saying, everybody knows everybody's numbers because they're your room number, and what I'm saying, and the prefix. And I knew I was lying, but that was a good enough that was plausible deniability. Like, everybody on campus knows each other's phone numbers if you know the room number. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm not pursuing is not the way to go. I have not been contacted. Listen, if you've been contacted, or your agent has been contacted, or throw your agent under the bus. That's what he's there for. Hey, my agent who works for me handles any conversations being had about my employment. With that being said, I'm happy or I hate it here. Whatever, whatever feeling you have, it's okay. Like I said, it's okay. But again, when you try to do the wordplay thing, the wording thing, then you're like, okay, you're being elusive now. And if there's, it's the old saying, is if there's nothing to hide, you know what I'm saying? Just, everybody's adult enough. We are not just this college sports media. And to answer anybody's question who has a problem with us going with the media thing, it's one of those things when you're the athletic, you can't get caught in a bold-faced lie. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
The athletic who's competing to become, you know, the next wave of how people get their news, individuals who write their articles and work for the athletic, it's high level competition for their credibility. When you say something as concrete as meeting scheduled, then you lose okay, that's just an agent throwing fishing lines out there or throwing rumors out there like it used to be.
Yeah, I would love to say, you know, and I am. I mean, and that's why, you know, if I felt this way, I'm very quick to say, no, I think that's bullcrap, man. But I don't think the Athletic now would just put that out there with just on a well, some dude called me from South Carolina and was like, hey, yeah, they're going to interview Scott Satterfield. Oh, okay. Oh, well. Ross Satterfield.
Did you just do a typewriter, Steve?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So you know, and do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
but here's the thing: Coach Satterfield doesn't have to be not telling the truth either. Like, I don't want to come out like we're saying Coach Satterfield is telling a lie either, because that's our point with the statement.
Mm-hmm.
The statement to me was very much, hey, I'm not lying to you guys,
technically.
But I'm also not telling you, right. Like, as Louisville fans, though, I read that statement and I was kind of with you. I was kind of like, okay, let's go. Let's have fun on now.
Let's have fun.
Let's have fun while you're here.
Yep. Let's enjoy this. Let's prepare ourselves for, you know, for that kind of thing. And here's the thing. Let it be known. I love the South Carolina job. Marcus Maben, Southern State School, South Carolina. The South Carolina job is the reason when Satterfield won 8 games his first year, I said, enjoy it now, because South Carolina's coming. And if he's if he's committed, or I'm sorry, if he's a coach who's looking for something bigger, it's going to be South Carolina. So just get ready. Like, it's okay. But again, coach, it's okay. It's okay. But again, when the fan base feels like you're being, like I said, intentionally elusive, then it's like, no, don't do it that way. Don't do it that way. Because this fan base respects SEC football. You get it. We respect, you know, your home ties. We respect your Clemson ties, your, you know, all that stuff. We did our due diligence. You know, all that stuff is okay. Don't lie to me. Let me say this one thing, and Jason, I'm coming to the phone line. Actually, I'll go to the phone line first and put that on the back end. Jason, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call, and I hope y'all have a good Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Same to you.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm a couple minutes late on your show today. I usually don't chime in at 10:30, but hope no one has asked you this question yet. But my question for you guys is, I'm only looking at just football stadiums, not the size of the college, but I believe our stadium seats 62. I've heard their seats 95. And so are we always going to be a stepping stone to bigger colleges at the University of Louisville, you know, that may seat upwards of 100,000? Or I don't think we'll ever lose a coach for money, I guess is what I'm saying. But I just wanted to hear your all's opinion on when we won't be a stepping stone for our football program.
Listen,
and once again, have safe holidays, guys.
Jason, I appreciate the call. Here's the thing. Louisville can hang on to the stepping stone idea or identity, or Louisville can say, listen, when Charlie Strong looked Tennessee right in the face, which is a much better job than South Carolina. Trust me, 102-455 is what Knoxville Stadium holds. 102-455. And when your coach looks them dead in the eye and says, no, thank you, my anxieties, my stepping stone stuff told me it is possible now to, you know what I'm saying, to make the most of this situation for coaches who really, you know, who don't mind, you know, building something at a ACC school versus going to SEC schools.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I'm not as big on the South Carolina job as you are.
Mm-hmm.
but because I think you're kind of playing behind Florida and Georgia all the time. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Now, to his point, we know where we are in the pecking order. That's why I said I thought the Jeff Brom one hurt so bad, because the only way you get out of that's dang near a generational thing in college football, is you either you get a guy who's coming back like a Jeff Brom or somebody who, has ties there, or you have to get the guy like Charlie turns Tennessee down and then turns Texas down. You know what I'm saying? And says, I'm here. Dabo, who gets at Clemson and says, no, I'm here. That's what I'm doing. Coach, I mean, whoever it is, that is what I think it takes to kind of get over that hump.
But that's most schools. That's most universities. So don't isolate Louisville as the stepping
100%.
Yeah, as the stepping stone. Listen, there are 10 jobs that there's about 10 jobs that are like super destination jobs in football.
You're spot on, because that's what I was going to say. I mean, the only thing I would retort to that is, what are the destination jobs in college football? What jobs do you not leave? I mean,
and all of them can be debatable, like I said,
well, yeah. We don't have to list them, but I mean, it's kind of my point is, like, there's only a handful that I think you say, yeah, no, you don't leave that, you don't leave that job.
Or and this job can take anybody. There's 10 jobs that can take anybody.
Absolutely.
And everything else is just like a matter of taste after that.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. 100%. I mean, you watch Florida and different ones just go to SEC teams in your own conference and just say, we're going to take Dan Mullen. Yeah, thanks. I mean, what do you do? Like, I mean, there's nothing. They're coming from programs where you're like, okay, yeah, no, these are good programs. So,
yeah, and those moves aren't personal. You don't take them personal.
I wouldn't take it personal if Coach Satterfield left. It's part of the game. I mean, look, I wanted Jeff Brom to just diss Purdue. I don't care
in the middle of the season.
Like, that doesn't matter to me. That part of it is not the thing. But here's the thing. Here's the point, though. I don't care about any other team. I care about Louisville's team. So that's where I don't really get into that part of it. Where if you say, well, yeah, but you can't be hypocritical because y'all wouldn't care if that. Yeah, but I don't care about any other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so my only focus is Louisville.
Does it make a difference that the flirt, like the quote unquote, I want to use the right phrasing. Does it look like there was some flirting going on? And a lot of people think South Carolina's not a big enough school to be flirting like with an interview scheduled, if they believe that report.
I do think there's a little bit of that. I do think that I seriously, I do think that the South Carolina thing is a little bit of a slap in the face. I mean, like, because again,
no, I know what you're saying. That's why I asked the question.
I know you're a little higher on that than I am. I don't think. I mean, Kentucky is pretty much been right there, surpassed South Carolina in the past 5 years. I mean, in the rankings. So like. There is kind of a little bit of a like.
Yeah, listen. Most people do not really respect, because, like I said, they're not into the pageantry and the history of South Carolina. They just look on the field. Are they good? Are they bad? Like, yeah, you don't worry. But like, okay, South Carolina is not whooping up on Mississippi State, or even if they beat them, you beat Mississippi State, and you think of Mississippi State as a much bigger program than South Carolina. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, and. Once you whoop them in a bowl game, you're like, yeah, we're middle of the pack SEC. But here's what's funny, Steve. Just by the way you went, them, it just, you know what that made me think of? I don't know why I'm making these references today, but they're funny in my own mind. You really, really want to be petty with an ex-girlfriend? Make sure your new girl doesn't look as good as her. And treat her like a queen. Nothing will make your ex-girlfriend madder then a girl that's uglier than her, or she thinks is uglier than her, and she looks really happy, and you treat her good. If Satterfield went to South Carolina, you would feel like, ew. Like, ew, did he leave me for her?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like, that's how people would feel. And
absolutely.
And they'd probably be rooting against them too.
But here's the problem, and this is where I think Louisville fans got aggravated, is we said, well, if you're flirting with them, then there's no doubt you're out of here.
Right. Right.
It's the next 8-win season you have. And again, it's what I said this on the live stream.
But that's to my point. I'm glad we know. I'm glad we learned.
Yeah, I agree. But I said this on the live stream last night a couple times. I want to say it on the air, and I know we got to go to break in a second. But Louisville fans hate the feeling of we're in Atlanta. We beat Ole Miss to open the season. We all slap hands. We go, great win. Yeah, he's leaving. I mean, like, and that I think is where we're going to be at now. Every good win you get, we'll enjoy it. I mean, we're happy, but we're like, yeah, he gone at the end of the year. And that's, I think, the aggravating thing. Now,
that's sports purgatory.
Now, look, hey, look, and here's the thing. Maybe he stays here forever. I hope so. I like Coach Satterfield. I like what he's doing. I want him to stay. Maybe he really does say, you know, I didn't know it was that big. I mean, I'm just saying, like, maybe he literally says at the end of the day in a quiet room, I didn't know it'd be that big of a deal.
But here's the thing. Take what you said. I'm going to ask this question before we come to commercial break, because I know this is going to be a mind bender. When you gauge the reaction, does that make the wild fan base reaction? Does that make him more excited about coaching here or less? 8150 939 3831 939. The YouTube channel's made for the Ville. Quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben on 939 The Ville.
Pay off your holiday bills with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a driver helper and earn $16.80 per hour to start. Pair up with a driver and deliver in your area, no license needed. Be part of an industry-leading organization that believes in promoting from within. Enjoy an active job with big-time growth opportunities. Become a driver helper at UPS. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/worldport. That's upsjobs.com/worldport.
Hey guys, it's Andy Sweeney here. When it was time to expand our offices and studios at ESPN Louisville, guys, the choice was easy. Realm Construction. Find them online today, realmconstruction.com. They're family owned and have been serving the Louisville area now for 60 years. Owners Rich Banks and Bill Receiver could not have been easier to work with. Their knowledge, professionalism, and attention to detail were absolutely top-notch. Bottom line, Realm Construction did everything they said they would do and more. Realm Construction specializes in commercial general contracting. You've probably seen their work at 4th Street Live, as well as many healthcare facilities around the area. For their full portfolio, visit realmconstruction.com. We trusted Realm Construction for our expansion, and you should too. For your next project, use Realm Construction. Online at realmconstruction.com or give them a call, 581-9191.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial Pound Law on your cell phone. That's Pound 529, offices Louisville.
Make your purchase with the Shane Company credit card and receive a free jewelry travel case while supplies last. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Tomorrow, it's a Thanksgiving triple header. Hi, this is Westwood One's Scott Graham. First, the Detroit Lions host the Houston Texans. Then the Washington football team and Dallas Cowboys try to stay alive inside the divisional race. Finally, the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Baltimore Ravens. Our special holiday coverage begins at 12 noon Eastern Time. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
Coverage begins tomorrow at noon on ESPN 680, 105.7, and 93.9 The Ville. Louisville basketball tips off their season Wednesday when the Cards take on Evansville. And for the most pre- and post-game coverage, keep it locked on ESPN Louisville. Pre-game coverage with Mark Ennis starts at 3 o'clock on 93.9 The Ville. And then directly following the game, join us for our official post-game show with Ethan Moore on all ESPN Louisville stations. We're the first place in town that will take your calls and hear live from Chris Mack. If it's Louisville basketball, we talk about it here on ESPN Louisville.
Hey, Card Nation, let's be honest. The real estate market in Kentucky is booming. And whether you want to buy or sell a home, now is the perfect time to do it. With interest rates at an all-time low and programs that can get you in a home for no money down. Want to learn more? It's simple. Just call Derek A. Stewart with Dream JP Pirtle. Derek is available virtually around the clock to listen, understand, and help you with all your realtor needs. So don't waste another second. Call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today.
Hey Cards fans, Great Flood Brewing in the Highlands and Great Flood Middletown are both open and ready to serve. Whether you're in the mood for a cold beer on our extended patio in the Highlands or a delicious burger or cocktail at our Middletown location, check us out at greatfloodbrewing.com for more info on all the options we have for you. For a limited time special, mention this ad out in Middletown for $2 off your first appetizer. Thanks again for all your support, and we hope to see you soon. For more information, visit us at greatfloodbrewing.com. Go Cards.
Have you been in a car wreck? Insurance companies can be really tough to deal with on your own. I'm Sam Aguiar, and our team is here to help. We have been fortunate enough to represent thousands of people from Kentucky communities, and we would love to speak with you about your potential case. Our team loves what we do. The consultation for you is free, and we don't charge you anything unless we win the case for you. So come be a part of our team. Our phone number is easy, 502-888-8888. 502-888-8888. 8888.
Mark Ennis here, telling you about my friends at Bosch Lawn Care. For the past few years, I've trusted Bosch Lawn Care with my yard maintenance at my house. That's mowing, weed eating, trimming bushes, cleaning mulch installation, and much more. Get yourself out of hours of work in the yard when you could be kicking back and enjoying time with your family and friends. Call 833-2GET-CUT. That's 833-243-8. Affordable Bosch Lawn Care.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Big time reaction to this news, Steve. Part of that says, man, I didn't know y'all really cared. You know, in a passionate relationship, sometimes apathy is the worst thing. It's worse than arguing.
Sure.
Somebody that seems like they don't care. Part of that says, okay, now I know this place really is into their football. You know, I got an effect. I can positively affect this place big time.
Absolutely.
Part of it says, who do y'all think y'all are? If you're in, let's just say you're like Steve the Purist fan. Let's say you're Coach Satterfield, which we always called from day one, Steve. We called Satterfield, Coach Scott Satterfield, a football purist. The way
we did.
Yep, the way he talked, the way he, the way he simplified things. We always thought of him as this. He's a football guy, no distractions, none of that outside stuff, just nuts and bolts. He may be that guy who says, "Look, this Louisville thing is great and all, but you're bombarding of me and you're breaking apart my record, and you know what I'm saying, like it's hard to get players up to Louisville. Like, hey, I've been striking out. We just, he might say the same thing about I can get in the doors with my Louisville uniform or my Louisville bird that I couldn't get in at App State. Now, what if purist guy says I can get into big time doors, 5-star doors at South Carolina that I just can't get in at Louisville? If he has that attitude. So which one do you think is more of Satterfield in this case? When using the fans' reaction, what's his reaction to the fans' reaction?
Well, here's the thing. I do think that, him seeing that probably to an extent was good. I think him knowing that, hey, we do have a passionate fan base here. But I think that, I don't know. It's tough to answer because I think that you get a vibe off of, for me, I think you get more of a vibe off of him. He comes from App State. Carolina kind of passes over him. Then he takes the Louisville job. Then it's like, I just don't know that I've ever got the we're in a long distance relationship vibe with him. So I'm not sure that that's going to matter, the Twitter reaction from fans. Because again, we say this a lot, but the Twitter, what you read on Twitter isn't always the majority. Mm-hmm. We're talking, that is a very, that's a very small portion of people. So that's why I try not to jump too much.
And the angriest is the loudest.
Absolutely. Because what if we have 2,000 people on the live stream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that we have our live stream last night. We have over 2,000 people. Say they're all angry, blah, 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 back and forth. Well, you put 2,000 people in Cardinal Stadium. It's not that many people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But people would be like, oh, the Louisville fan base are losing their ever-loving minds. Did you watch the Maven and Rummage live stream? And they're screaming, and they're, if you're an outsider watching and you're going, 2,000 people is angry. But so I don't know that he would gauge any of that by that. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think it would play a lot into it.
Brian Hall, do you think that, Steve, I have to do this. Brian, what are you doing back there? But just so you know, Steve, I keep looking up at Brian and I want him to join the conversation. He's staring into the computer and he's just giggling. Like, are you like, is the sound that entertaining? Like,
no, I'm having to, truthfully, I'm having to put together a best of 2-hour segment for later today that is going to be played while the game is going on. So
you're putting a 2-hour best of during the show. You don't like the show?
No, I'm listening to you guys. I've listened to the whole show. I'm just multitasking.
Okay, get back to it.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, Coach Satterfield, do you think he's flattered by the fan base reaction, or you think it irritated him?
I think he's irritated. I think he's wishing that this all was going on behind the scenes, and now he's realizing that when he gets to, it kind of makes you wonder, maybe this stuff was going on at App State where he was looking at other jobs, but it just wasn't coming up in the media. He could kind of push it aside and it didn't get, brought forward to the front. Now he's realizing he's at a big job right now, and that anytime there's any speculation, it is a topic of conversation between the fan base. And I think it just kind of was a reality check for him to be like, oh, I really can't talk to South Carolina behind the scenes without everybody else knowing.
As a fan, do you think he owed any kind of announcement last night?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I think once all the speculation happened, I think he needed to jump on and actually have like a Zoom call or something where he would, face to face, you would see him make the statement, and it's not just in a press release. But I would also say that he probably is waking up today thinking that maybe he should have, like, maybe that was another realization. I think he's kind of learning on the fly because he has not been at a bigger program, a Power 5 program, and now he's starting to realize, because I personally think that he probably has no intention of taking the South Carolina job, but because of the fact it was closer to home, it's an SEC job, I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to hear what they have to say. And he thought he could do it without anybody knowing. And now he's realizing he can't do that. And he's probably second guessing his statement and wishing he did a verbal, face thing. But at the same time, it's a reality. I mean,
I'll ask Rummage on this. How much damage has been done to the coaching fan base relationship, Steve, in your opinion?
Oh, I don't know how much, but there absolutely has been some. There has been some, and I hate that for Coach, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those deals, man, where it's going to be tough, like things are different now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like where you're looking at them and you're saying, no, things are different. Things aren't quite the same.
I mean, but what is the big thing? And the question kind of comes from the texter asking, let's talk about damage done by Athletic if they did jump the gun.
Well, no, now if it's proven that they jumped the gun or something, and it's like, no, he actually didn't have, then okay, well then.
But you didn't feel like they jumped the gun because they had a time period and other coaches.
I'm 100% just trusting journalism at this point. Like I do, for as much as I like to tear on Tim Sullivan, or we joke around with Mr. Bozich or the different ones. I do know from being around them more, they don't say stuff without something.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why.
And use the word journalism.
Yeah. They don't just put it out there. They're not just, I was going to make a fake name, but I don't want to offend anybody because I love our local blogs, but like they're not Stevie Cardinal, blogspot.com, that's like, well, I'm hearing this, so it's, and by the way, please don't take that offensive. I love the local blogs. Mm-hmm. So and I think blogs are awesome because you get a fan base reaction.
No, and here's the thing. On blogs, a lot of rumors can be true.
Very much.
Yeah, but the Athletic can't run with it unsubstantiated like a blog can.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it's one of those things where I think that with the Athletic, you believe it a little more that, okay, maybe you gave wrong information,
mm-hmm.
but I feel like you got some information.
Mm-hmm.
And you obviously got some information from somebody you really, really, really trusted.
D, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Hey, first of all, happy Thanksgiving to you guys, gobble, gobble and whatnot. But, I saw that, the flirting with South Carolina, and I said to myself, Louisville's a better job than South Carolina. And the reason why I say that is because, well, you go undefeated in a Power 5 conference. I mean, you got, a 90% chance of being in a college football playoff, especially if you're at Louisville, because you had to just beat Clemson. South Carolina's got to play Georgia and Florida, and it's going to be a lot harder to win in South Carolina. Plus, when was the last time South Carolina was relevant? Javian Clowney? I mean, he jumped over the offensive line, made the guy fumble, and he got the fumble return. There you go. That's South Carolina. And, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, you want to put your name out there to, try to get a better job. I mean, that's fine. But, it didn't really do John L. Smith any good. It didn't do, Bobby Petrino any good, and it didn't do Charlie Strong any good. I mean, my whole thing is that I just read the writing on the wall when I take a job, and I do my best at the job that I have. I don't think he's going anywhere now, but as a U of L fan, I mean, the way that we've been and the way that we've been treated by coaches, I understand, me as a fan and other, fans, being concerned. And, I mean, this is what his second year. So, I don't know. It is what it is, but I can't wait to watch U of L basketball. And I don't know what the starting five is going to look like. If it's what's on paper, hey, let's go with it. I mean, it's Evansville. I'm not going to take Evansville lightly because, they did beat Kentucky. And, so it'll be good. Look, you guys have a great holiday.
Thanks, man.
Rummage, I'm down 65 pounds, by the way.
Wow.
And, I went from 245. I'm down to like 180. I think 184 was the last time that I did. I'm on a 10-minute mile. So,
wow.
I'm keeping it up. I'm 45. So I feel that's my pace.
No, that's
congrats, Steve.
Congrats, Steve.
Yeah.
That's very commendable, dude. I mean, a 10-minute mile is good. Like I'm running 10-minute miles, like So yeah, if you're doing that at 45, brother, keep it up, man.
Yeah, I get faster as I get lighter. Hopefully, I don't get much lighter because I'm looking like I'm like people keep on asking me if I'm sick. So look, you guys have a great holiday. Eat what you can. Maybe look, always a pleasure. And last night I was watching a little bit. My internet kind of got a little messed up. Hopefully, you had.
We're fine.
Let's go. But y'all have a good one. Later.
All right.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
brother. Appreciate that, man.
And anybody who joined us last night, feel free to jump in on this one. Like pass along the experience. I did have a really, really, really good time on the live.
It's always good to hear from D too, man.
Right.
It's been a while since we heard from D. And to his point, like it's kind of that's kind of the point. Like everybody.
If you thought you saw the last of the double cheeseburger pizza from Papa John's, think again, because it's back again. And now they're debuting the sequel as a Papadilla, a quarter pound of beef, zesty burger sauce and pickles on crispy flatbread crust. Again, one more time. Get a large double cheeseburger pizza for just $12, or a new double cheeseburger Papadilla for $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Again. Not valid with discounts, fees, and taxes. Extra prices may vary.
Your eyes are unique. The color, the shape, even the way our world appears through them. At Dr. Black's Eye Associates, our approach to eye care is as unique to you as your eyes. For over 30 years, our family of doctors have helped protect, restore, and improve the vision of families across Kentuckiana, and we will continue while following all CDC guidelines. We want you to know that we are still here and we care. Trust your vision to the local specialist at Dr. Black's Eye Associates. Call 888-EYE-CARE to schedule an appointment today. Dr. Black's Eye Associates. See life clearly.
Terry Miners here for Schellers Fitness and Cycling with a huge sale going on now. Of course, they carry bikes for every member of the family, and they're taking pre-orders on hard-to-find models from Trek and Electra, so plan ahead. Schellers has the largest selection of fitness equipment around. We're talking treadmills, ellipticals, water rowers, home gyms, and spin bikes. Everybody loves working out at home now. And Schellers is your #1 fitness and cycling retailer in this region. So buy local, 4 area locations. Schellers has 12 months, no interest financing. Online, Schellers.com.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on backyard favorites like grill-ready hamburgers and fresh-picked strawberries? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, plus rewards like fuel points, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Baltimore Ravens football plays here on ESPN Louisville.
Out of the pistol, Jackson fakes the handoff to J.K. Dobbins, steps up, throwing for the end zone, looking for Andrews. He's got it! Touchdown, Ravens!
Lamar Jackson and the Ravens have a Thanksgiving shootout with the undefeated Steelers. Pre-game coverage begins at 7:50 with kickoff at 8:20 on 93.9 The Ville. Ravens football on ESPN Louisville is presented by Liquor Barn, Body Armor Sports Drink, and Molly Malone St. Matthews, home of the Raven.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by Caesars Southern Indiana. Come, see, conquer at Caesars Southern Indiana. Despite rumors breaking late last night that Louisville head football coach Scott Satterfield was potentially interviewing for a vacant South Carolina job, he has denied any speculation, saying, quote, "While I'm flattered my name is associated with another job, I have not pursued or sought any other offers. I am the head coach at the University of Louisville. We are building a strong foundation and culture. I love our players and the dedication they have shown me and my staff. It's important that we continue the development of the program. We have an outstanding recruiting class coming in December, and I'm excited for the future of our football team. L's up." Louisville Athletic Director Vince Tyree also echoed that the rumors were untrue. The Cards will be back in action as they travel to Boston College on Saturday. That game is set to kick off at 4 o'clock on the ACC Network. With the Cards men's basketball team set to kick off their season today at 4 o'clock against Evansville, head coach Chris Mack talked with the media yesterday about what he expects to see out of the Purple Aces.
In the half court, we're going to face a team that I think is going to be really pride itself on execution. You know, the kid Coleman at the 5 position can really shoot and really pass. And that's a challenge because, you know, for us, that's an inexperienced position with Malik going out. And so we're going to have to make sure that, you know, we do a really good job of playing his ball screens and recovering.
We will have coverage right here on 93.9 The Ville, leading you all the way up to game time at 4 o'clock and immediately following the game for the post-game show. In other news regarding the Cards, the times for the ACC Big Ten Challenge have been set, and the Cards will take on Wisconsin on December 9th at 7:15 on ESPN. The preseason number 5 ranked Louisville women's basketball team is also set to kick off their season today, and they begin at 3 o'clock when they take on Southeast Missouri State. In other news, the University of Kentucky men's basketball team is also set to kick off their season today at 6 o'clock against Morehead State. They will likely be without sophomore Keon Brooks. You can catch the postgame show on our sister station, ESPN 680. Moving on to NBA news, former Kentucky Wildcat Bam Adebayo has now agreed to a 5-year extension with the Miami Heat that could reach up to $195 million with incentives. And last but certainly not least, just a reminder that ESPN Louisville is your exclusive home for the NFL this season. We will be carrying Thanksgiving's triple header, beginning with the Lions and the Texans at noon on all ESPN Louisville formats. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is Sports Center.
Throughout history, rings of all kinds have been given to symbolize adoration and devotion. And who doesn't love a beautiful ring? Shane Company has the largest selection of unique rings and wedding bands, crafted to last a lifetime. For a new relationship, a promise ring will be a treasured gift. If you've been together many years, a 3-stone ring might make her tear up. The stones represent the past, present, and future. If you're looking for a wedding band, we offer every style, from simple classics to elaborate decorative bands, as well as bands with sapphires and colorful gemstones. She can either stack it with her wedding set or wear it on her right hand. Every time she looks at her ring, she'll be reminded of your love. We're going above and beyond to make shopping safer, Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com. Check our website for special holiday hours.
DraftKings, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is giving all players the opportunity to cash in on a no-brainer this Thanksgiving. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you a chance to double your money if either Baltimore or Pittsburgh score a touchdown in Thursday night's game. All it takes for you to double your money is one touchdown. All you have to do is opt into the promotion, place your bet, and then sit back and watch the ball enter the end zone. On top of that, DraftKings Sportsbook is offering all new players a deposit bonus up to $1,000. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code WLCL when you sign up to get this can't-miss offer. That's code WLCL during sign-up for a limited time, only at
max 14 minutes.
Be 21 or older, Indiana only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus. Deposit bonus requires 25 times playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
People really hate that.
It's all good.
And while I'm speaking to the people and while I'm trying to help the people and do what's right for the people, let me tell you, temperature control is one of the most valuable resources one could have. If you agree, then DFH Company is the company for you. Simply dial 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Inquire about their Mitsubishi Mini Split for that hard to heat, hard to cool room in your home. Simply 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com.
Yeah. And I can't find my read, so
Steve, we can't hear you, man.
Hello.
We can barely hear you.
I can barely hear myself. So
what are you doing to yourself?
I have you all the way up, so something got messed up on the break.
While you figure that out, we'll go to our guy. I'm surprised it took an hour for us to get this call. Lawrence, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. Fire away.
What's up, Marcus? What's up, Steve? Before I talk about the basketball team, I just want to say, it's South Carolina. Come on. You got to be better than that. South Carolina football. Where have they ever been runners up in their history? And now, on the basketball game, I'm going to need Quinn Zizitti to hit some three-point shots, though, so he can open up the lane for Devin Johnson and Carly Jones. Because I feel like Evansville's going to try to throw a zone on Louisville because they think they don't got no shooters. If Quinn knocks down at least 3 or 4 three-point shots, that's going to open up the lane for Devin Johnson and Carly Jones to go to work. But I think we got guys who can get to the rim with no problem. But are we going to be able to shoot lights out when teams throw a zone on Louisville? That's what we add tonight.
Lawrence, I got to pull you off this call. There's something going on in the background. There's some sounds going on that was just driving everybody crazy. Now, Steve, are you fully muted now? I don't know. Oh yeah, that is not gonna work. I guess you'll have to disconnect and reconnect with Brian. Try to start that thing over. Texter says, my take, if you have a coach that doesn't get other offers, then you have a bad coach. Fair enough. I hope he continues to get offers, but also hope he turns them all down. Yes, indeed. If he was seeking another job, then it would be better to me. Yeah, I did make that point last night. If this was your destination school, I'd be hugely disappointed. Again, the Jeff Brom aspect of it certain situations can make Louisville one of the places you want to be at. Like now, I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm also perfectly okay with guys saying, you know, I can get some big time 5 stars at state schools that I may not be able to get at Louisville unless they go Trinity 5 star, stuff like that. I'm okay with all the eventualities of trying to be a top-notch football program. But I don't listen, everybody can handle those eventualities, but what you can't handle is I technically didn't do this, but yeah, like again, just say it. Just like any coach, like any agent, there's always conversations. I hope I do come up in every coaching job, and I hope it's always my option to turn every coaching job down and stay here if I want. That's okay. Everybody would understand that. People wouldn't even read into that statement. But not pursuing a job, in 2020, coaches don't pursue jobs that are in jobs that are considered, good football programs. You don't really pursue outside of that. If you get the call from the top 10, powerhouses, they come get you. You're not chasing those jobs. Anything you would be chasing would be lateral outside of those top 10 like super programs. Softball dad Dustin, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Well, a few things. One, I told you got my resume, man. He probably spilled his pumpkin spiced latte on his equipment. I mean, that's part of the problem.
He's messing up something.
And look, do I?
He's messing up something.
Anyway, I understand the frustration with the fan base because we've been, it's like you've made that analogy before about taking that hot chick to the prom and then you don't speak to her for a month or something. Look, Sat is a fantastic coach. Is he the hot chick? I don't know. We don't have enough data to deduce that.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. The fan base needs to quit whining. Like, look, it's kind of a compliment when Texas comes after our guy or when Tennessee comes after our guy. Sat's not going anywhere right now. I mean, I can't imagine he'd go, like you said, a lateral move, but I'm not going to fault the man for bettering himself and his family, and that's just part of it.
Wouldn't you rather the fan base have something to say about it than just sit back and just wait for your coach to be plucked? Like, wouldn't you want them to kind of fight to, either get mad at their coach or fight to keep them?
I want them to be passionate. I don't want them to be, there's a fine line between ignorance and stupidity. So I'm okay with ignorance. Stupidity, I cannot handle. I just think be patient. How much of this information, do we know is completely 100% accurate? Probably 10% of it. Mm-hmm. We don't know. Mm-hmm. So just sit back. This year. Look, you don't have to be a rocket surgeon to figure out this year has sucked from top to bottom. So there's no point in getting pissed off at a bunch of other stuff when we got other things to worry about. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. No. Listen, I appreciate the call. It's definitely a perspective. It's definitely a kind of a moving scale of perspective. There's like I said, there's the COVID factor to everything. There's the record that you would like to have a much better record. There is there's the jaded fan base thing. Like again, the flirting is just not what you want to hear about. That rumor is just bad to hear.
We're still working on getting Steve connected. He might be able to call in for a second. Mm-hmm. We're having some issues with the equipment, but
obviously,
no, I'm in agreement with you. I mean, it's not necessarily totally if he takes the South Carolina job anymore right now at all. It's more the fact that he's willing to flirt with these other schools and willing to talk to these other schools.
And we're not accusing him of flirting.
No, and we don't know exactly what happened, but where there's smoke, there's a fire sometimes. And sometimes there's not,
Yeah.
Sometimes there's, you got to think of it from a South Carolina perspective. They might want his name being floated out there and he might not really know anything about it. Mm-hmm. And it might have something to do with a completely different negotiation going on with somebody else, but it benefits them saying Satterfield.
Do you think South Carolina would be willing to float it out there that we have a scheduled meeting in between their games, their Wake Forest and Boston College games, even if they were floating something out?
I mean, I think, I hate to say it, I think sports is a ruthless game. I mean, and to a degree, when it comes to business, South Carolina doesn't care how it's going to affect Louisville.
No, but for them though, yeah,
no, I mean, because they've already fired their coach.
I know what you're
saying.
So
I mean, it doesn't affect them at all. I mean, yeah, because there's going to be names floated out there every week for them, because you got to think that the interim head coach knows he's gone. He's a Muschamp guy, and part of the Muschamp staff, and they're trying to probably clean house. But I don't know. I mean, you get the. I don't think South Carolina's doing that, and I don't want to accuse Satterfield though of flirting, but at the same time, that's the worry I think in a lot of Louisville fans' eyes right now is, okay, yeah, he's probably not going to take the South Carolina job, but if he's willing to flirt with them, then what happens if Florida or Georgia or some team comes along? Then yeah, he might leave for another school at some point.
Yeah, you definitely don't like the feeling of not if but when, because like I said, it makes all of your celebrations. It's what makes a Coach Mack thing enjoyable. It makes all your celebrations just have a little bit of a cloud hanging over it when you think that is something. Let me address a couple of these texts real quick. Texters, yes, he said rocket surgeon. Don't pick it, people, for making those mistakes. Like I got 3 text messages making fun of softball dad Dustin for saying rocket surgeon. You know what he meant. You know he meant rocket scientist, or
we knew what he meant.
Yeah, I know. Like, come on. Yeah, like don't pick on people when they just.
That's nitpicking.
I know. Don't do that.
It's a live show. We talked for 2 hours, man.
I know.
We're gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna stumble over some words. I'm gonna play the wrong music at some point or do something. It's a live show. It happens.
Even the callers, like you're gonna misspeak. You just roll with it. Like don't go out of your way to be the gotcha guy. Oh, that's one thing. The other thing is, Texter wants to know. Yes, I'm still going to do. Just so you know, the game is at 4:00. That is during Mark Ennis's show. So when he says pregame leading up to the game, he's actually doing his show on 93.9. So don't panic. I am still going to, at the very least, post a YouTube pregame show. I think Steve is trying to. He's done. He's totally out of it. Brian Hall is catching those. Is there anything else? Let me clean out the text line. I think a lot of the fan base just want our Mark Few type of coach for football. Softball dad, just let it go. Like you don't have to do that. Don't feel like you got to bite back at the people who are just gonna pick it. What occupation do any of us?
So softball dad's got a rebuttal to what he was saying earlier. But
does he really?
He does. He's on the line. You can take him.
Can he not let it go?
You can talk to him.
I'll give him a shot real quick. Softball dad Dustin, I hope you didn't get sensitive, man.
No, dude. I got a wife and 2 daughters. I can't be hypersensitive.
Fair enough.
So look, if you're in medicine, so obviously whoever's texting you doesn't, 1, get humor, and 2, they're obviously not in medicine. If you're in medicine, you don't ever say brain surgeon.
So yes, you did get butthurt.
Scientist. You say rocket surgeon to be funny. It is a poor attempt at medical humor. So if they don't get it, that's on them. But that's all that is. No, I did not make a mistake. It was very intentional.
Very highbrow humor from softball dad Dustin, who is he's actually a very smart person, people. And I guess everybody learned something today. Jacob, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Oh, nothing much, man. I just really feel like as of lately, just after that whole South Carolina debacle and the coaching change, I feel like everybody's just overreacting and playing the jealous boyfriend. Something Scott probably was being genuine about and really doesn't care about taking it, and his mind really is with us and focused. I've always felt like every last thing he said has been genuine.
During the release statement, did you feel like he should have been clearer on the I didn't pursue anything? Like, was that good enough for you?
It really was, because when he says I haven't been pursuing it, I don't think he plays those games. When he says that, he means his agent has not either. I want to believe, at least. People can say I'm naive, but Scott hasn't given us a reason to think otherwise of him.
No, listen, I appreciate the call, and I think your point at the end of the day is the best point, because it's not calling you a liar, and we're talking about your feelings as a fan, and you're responding to what his statement is. Like, this is pick apart stuff. This is good. This is good football conversation. Is your coach poachable? Is he poachable? Is he worthy of being poached? This is a conversation that continues on. If nothing happens from it, you're gonna move right past this emotion, but if something does come of it, it's kind of one of those things that it's a receipt that you kind of put away for later. You're never going to really need that receipt, but just in case you get audited, you kind of stuck that in the receipt drawer, even though it's going to take a long time to dig it out, but you still want to keep that receipt in that receipt drawer.
I agree with Jacob's point, though. I mean, of all the coaches that we've had here at Louisville, for some reason, Satterfield is one of those guys that you want to believe. I don't know if it's his demeanor or the way he talks or how he comes across, but you get that feeling that you want to believe him when he actually says something, that he is genuine, because you always have that when a coach speak, whenever a guy talks, you kind of just take it with a grain of salt, because you don't know if he's playing games with the other team or what. Right. You just you try to read between the lines of what a coach says. We do that with every coach, but for some reason, every time Satterfield has said something, I've felt like he genuinely meant it. And so there is that strong possibility, and this is probably the case, that he is being honest with us. He thought he had done enough with a public statement, and now he's finding out he didn't, and he's probably second guessing it. But at the same time, I get that point. But then I also understand the wording of pursuing. Yeah, I don't. I mean, and I know you all were talking about this earlier, but he probably didn't go pursue the South Carolina job. He probably wasn't reaching out to them like, hey, I want you. But South Carolina was reaching out to him. And when the opportunity became available, he's like, well, it is closer to home. It is in the SEC. Maybe I should at least take an interview.
Again, I have absolutely no individual indictment. The conversation revolves around, like, we know that the Scott Satterfield camp, like, if I have representation, if my representation didn't accept a call, a option, if my representation, my agent, for lack of a better word, if my agent doesn't accept a conversation, a meeting with SEC South Carolina, I'd fire him immediately. I'm just saying the report of having an interview scheduled from The Athletic is credible enough. I mean, like I said, it's from a credible enough source to say, okay, I think something is there. Now, when I say something, when I personally think something is there, now I'm going to listen to you more intently than before. Because here's the thing. When you gave me the answer from Syracuse, when the rumor came up, everybody's antennas went up, but there wasn't a reaction. Listen, even if you didn't 100% buy what he was saying after the Syracuse comment on the job, even if you didn't buy it, there wasn't a reaction like, I don't believe it. But add Athletic scheduling to it says, okay, now I feel like there's something a little more concrete going on out here, and somebody's willing to put their reputation on the line by reporting this.
I think Louisville fans also kind of just live in fear, just because we have that reputation as being the stepping stone to the next big job, and we've kind of had coaches that flirted every year in and year out. Bobby Petrino was being brought up for new jobs every year. I don't think he was Charlie Strong.
I don't think he was flirting, though. I think he was just we heard it, and we heard it through the reports. The Auburn was the flirting, and I think once the Auburn flirt happened, we assumed that he was going to be listening to everyone else.
Yeah, and then the Louisville fans are also scared because and the reason that they're still sitting on their edge of the seats today, even after his statement last night, is because we've watched coaches tell us one day that they are dedicated to the program and going to stay, and then Charlie Strong leaves the next day and goes to Texas. So like it's, you know, Bobby Petrino did the same thing. Oh, you know, I'm not meeting with any teams. Oh, I'm gone for the Falcons, you know, like, and it's just, I think we're almost dealing with, like, you know, you have that relationship, you have that bad relationship in high school where, you know, you just, some things happen and you don't really get along. And now every girlfriend after that, you worry that concept's going to happen. It's kind of the same thing that's going on right now with the football team. We've had such a bad reputation with all of our exes, all of our former coaches wanting to leave, that we live in fear.
Steve thinks that it's the battery in his microphone that, or in his iRig, that has gone out. What? Hey, Steve, I got to do this on air real quick. Wait, Steve. I'll give you $1 Cash App if you stick to. Steve, listen. Steve had a square battery in his hand, and I tried to challenge him to stick his tongue on it just to see if he would pull it off. Point being, I'll tell you what, I will address Nathaniel Clark's question on the YouTube channel. That's a great question. We'll take our last commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville.
Genesis Diamonds wants to make this a truly magical holiday season. And after the year we've all gone through, we need it, right? That's why we're bringing you our strongest financing offer of the year. Starting on Black Friday, you pay 0 down and get 0 interest for 5 whole years. Stud earrings, diamond tennis bracelets, engagement rings, and wedding bands. Diamond pendants and delicate layering, 3-stone rings and 5-stone rings. All at the unbeatable prices Genesis is famous for. With no down payment and no interest for 5 years. At Genesis Diamonds, we've expanded our huge selection for the holidays. It's like shopping 50 stores at once. Incredible gifts from $300 to $300,000. Bands, sapphire and emerald rings, gold bracelets, diamond necklaces, and stylish earrings. Diamond hoops, Swiss timepieces with no down payment and no interest for 5 years. It starts this Friday at 10 a.m. Let's end 2020 on a magical note by celebrating those who mean the most to us with a little help from Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Road Plaza, on approved credit.
When you are buying or selling a home, you have a ton of questions that need to be answered. Well, what if I could answer those questions with 3 simple words? Call Josh Jarbo. Josh specializes in residential real estate, getting buyers the home of their dreams and sellers top dollar for their home with the best negotiating skills in the industry. And if you tell him you heard about him right here, you'll receive up to a $5,000 seller's credit. So contact Josh Jarbo today at 502-216-7590 or joshjarbo@remax.net.
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon Lang. When Matthew McConaughey plays you in a movie, as he did me in 2005's Two for the Money, you have to maintain a certain image. That's hard to do when you're going bald. I needed to do something, and it needed to be done fast. Parsley Waldman's Hair Center came to the rescue. Louisville and the Midwest Premier Hair Treatment Center not only gave me my hair back, but my self-confidence as well. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out how you can start your journey back to a full head of hair today. I can tell you firsthand, from the minute you walk in the door to the time you leave, you are treated as if you were in a 5-star hotel. And now that it's been a year since my surgery, I look back at pictures from a couple years ago. I don't even look like the same person. The procedure was an amazing success, and it has totally reframed my face. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out not only how affordable it is, but how you can get your hair back today. Visit hairsurgery.com. That's hairsurgery.com. And tell them Brandon Lang sent you.
Skip the crowded mall this Black Friday weekend and come to Shane Company, where shopping's safer and easier than ever. To keep everyone safe, we're taking extra precautions, including temperature screenings, mandatory masks, and social distancing. We've also installed a new air purification system with state-of-the-art technology. To make shopping easy for you, we have curated holiday gifts wrapped with a bow and ready to give. This year, one of my favorites is our exclusive star pendant with a natural ice blue sapphire for $165. It's the perfect gift for the star in your life. Another favorite, our elegant cultured pearl pendant with diamond accents for $465. We're going above and beyond to make shopping safer Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com. Check our website for special holiday hours.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial Pound Law on your cell phone. That's Pound 529, offices Louisville.
Get special Black Friday savings all month long at O'Brien Ford. It's the best time of year to buy. Right now, get a new 2020 Ford Escape with 0% financing for 60 months plus.
Hey, Marcus.
In trade-in cash.
Marcus.
2020.
Marcus.
Plus up to $2,500 in cash rebates. O'Brien Ford. Just a short drive to Shelbyville. Drive a little, save a lot. Or visit o'brienford.com. Includes $1,000 retail trade assist cash.
Tomorrow, it's a Thanksgiving triple header. Hi, this is Westwood One's Scott Graham. First, the Detroit Lions host the Houston Texans. Then the Washington football team and Dallas Cowboys try to stay alive inside the divisional race. Finally, the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Baltimore Ravens. Our special holiday coverage begins at 12 noon Eastern Time. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
Coverage begins tomorrow at noon on ESPN 680, 105.7, and 93.9 The Ville.
Have you been in a car wreck? Insurance companies can be really tough to deal with on your own. I'm Sam Aguiar, and our team is here to help.
Steve out.
Fortunate enough,
Steve out.
Tons of people from Kentucky community.
Steve out.
Love to speak with you about your potential case. Our team loves what we do. The consultation.
He's out.
Charge you anything unless we win the case for you. So come be a part of our team. Our phone number is easy, 502-888-8888. 502-888-8888.
Pay off your holiday bills with a new job at UPS. Join.
If you want Mac, it's 14 minutes.
Per hour to start.
Okay.
$1,500 in bonuses. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/worldport. That's upsjobs.com/worldport.
Genesis Diamonds wants to make this a truly magical holiday season. And after the year we've all gone through, we need it, right? That's why we're bringing you our strongest financing offer of the year. Starting on Black Friday, you pay $0 down and get 0 interest for 5 whole years. Stud earrings, diamond tennis bracelets, engagement rings, and wedding bands. Diamond pendants and delicate layering 3-stone rings and 5-stone rings. All at the unbeatable prices Genesis is famous for. With no down payment and no interest for 5 years. At Genesis Diamonds, we've expanded our huge selection for the holidays. It's like shopping 50 stores at once. Incredible gifts from $300 to $300,000. Bands, sapphire and emerald rings, gold bracelets, diamond necklaces, and stylish earrings. Diamond hoops, Swiss timepieces with no down payment and no interest for 5 years. It starts this Friday at 10 a.m. Let's end 2020 on a magical note by celebrating those who mean the most to us with a little help from Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Road Plaza, on approved credit.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Music texter. I do appreciate the heads up. The unmute is always necessary. That's why I start talking straight out of the breaks. I got
starting 5. You know who's that starting 5 for tonight?
I got a question from Nathaniel Clark on the YouTube channel. I really did enjoy this question. First game of the season. You asked about my first game, and I won't go into storytelling. Instead, again, I like to
Puerto Rico.
No. I think when he asked the question, it's kind of like one of those exhibitions. We still did exhibitions first before we even went to Puerto Rico. And I do love to mention just one little thing. I can't believe to this day, I let down the fan base so bad in my first exhibition game. Actually, I let down the fan base before I even got on a Louisville uniform. Think about that. How can you let down the Louisville fan base before you even put on the Louisville uniform? You want to know how, Brian?
How?
I let this dude hit a game winner from the top of the key in the 2-on-2 Derby All-Star Classic. We made it to the champ. And here's the thing. Do y'all remember when they stuck me and I can't think of my teammate's name. I think it was Kareem Shabazz was his name. They stuck me, and he was going to Florida State. They stuck me, myself, and Kareem Shabazz against a guy named Ryan Hogan and a kid named Bradley who was going to Kentucky. It was supposed to be, Brian, random draw. Oh, Marcus Maben versus
Ramel Bradley.
No, Ryan Hogan and
was it Ramel?
No, it was it was like
Ramel Bradley.
No, it's a white dude.
Oh yeah, that's not Ramel.
Yeah. Does anybody know the Bradley kid that went to Kentucky? I think he might end up transferring or something like that. But the Derby All-Star game, we busted Hogan and the other kids. But I will say this. I was nervous. I was like nervous, and I don't really get nervous like that. And they were weak. Right.
Well, you probably felt like all the fans were out there to watch you.
Yes.
Because you're the Louisville commit. So everybody wants to come see the Louisville commit.
Listen, Brian, it was like I said, I don't get nervous, but it was like that energy in that Derby Classic, like, what's going on here? Like, this is crucial, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we end up busting.
Probably the biggest crowd you played in front of, too. Like, the Derby Festival? Don't they usually sell out Freedom Hall? Or no, about half Freedom Hall.
Brian, you've seen my high school videos.
I mean, I've seen them. Yeah, I'm just saying. How many fans you play in front of in high school?
We need fire departments there to shut down doors and keep people out.
Everybody wanted to come see Marcus Maben.
No. Again, Marcus Maben versus Sean Marion.
Yeah.
Marcus Maben versus Sean Marion, Trenton Hassel. The Isaiah Vick. It was some dudes. Okay, so anyway, especially in Clarksville, like we going to the game.
All right, I got you.
Okay. So, but point being, Ryan Hogan, Bradley kid. We bust them in one of the rounds, and we're having our way with Byron Mouton. He won a championship at Maryland, and he went to but just whatever it was, just I don't know how they ended up coming back on us, and he hit this 3-pointer from the top of the key, and he danced and cheered, and I was like, no, I didn't let him hit that shot to beat us in the championship at the top of the key. Look, I sound like Paul George too, like, terrible shot. No, it wasn't, Marcus. He just raised up and buried that shot on you. It just made me sick to my stomach. It was a good shot, though. Point being, I felt like I let the fan base off the end. Second thing, kind of for you, Nathaniel, the exhibition game. It had to be, I don't know if we were doing quarters, just on experimental, but early in the game, in the exhibition game, Nathaniel, I got a wide. Think about this. In the first couple of minutes of the first game, I got the widest open court steal that I got for the rest of my career. And it happened 6 minutes into game one. And I don't know if people remember, but I got that fast break and I could hear the crowd get Michael Bradley. Thank you, Michael Bradley. And I go up and I'm above the rim, I'll one-legged, and that ball bangs off the back of the rim and goes back to half court. And I can still see myself looking back over the top of my head, watching that basketball fly all the way back to half court. But those are the great, those are the jitters that I envy, because you will be lucky if a relationship gives you those kind of butterflies one other time in the rest of your life. You would consider yourself lucky. But yeah,
do you think it'll be different though for them in front of no fans? The freshmen that have never played, who are playing their first game in a Louisville uniform.
Okay. No, because there's only gonna be 3,000 fans.
There's still gonna be jitters, because there's still gonna be the 3,000. You're still gonna be in this big arena. You're still gonna look across, see another coach,
and they don't know if they can compete at this level. Like they're not convinced they can compete at this level just yet.
And I'll add another factor into, they know it's televised. And if a high school game, if ESPN is showing up to air your high school game like they do for several high schools across the country, you're gonna up your game that day, because there's eyes there that are not in the gym.
Texter says Corey Reed has opted out. Texter, thank you, says Michael Bradley. Other texter says, I bet you could hear Coach Crum.
I was just gonna call him White Ramel Bradley.
Right. Cussing you out for not closing out. Yeah, Coach. I'm sorry, Coach. I caused him more stress than probably anybody ever played for Louisville. At least on the court. Y'all see Andy try to steal y'all's live stream idea?
Oh, did he?
Interesting. Cody, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
What's up, man? Yeah, I'm not too worried about the Scott Satterfield situation. I mean, worst case scenario, man. Hey, if he leaves, let's just give Brian Van Gorder the keys. He's the only one to really figure out Georgia Tech. Come on, man. How do you come on, dude? So I think we'll be all right either way. But yeah, man, it's hoops tonight. I'm super excited about that. I just want a really good season in basketball, man. But I got a quick question. Do you think Gabe plays at all tonight? And do you think Aiden's going to get the significant? You think he's going to play?
Yeah. Yep. I do. I appreciate the call. I do think we see pretty much everybody that's healthy. Everybody that's healthy. If you can get away with buying some more time with a Josh Nickelberry, like I said, I just think Coach Mack errs on the side of caution, and if you can get Gabe in some early minutes, But like I said, if they're playing like crap, then who knows what it's going to look like. Chris, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
What's up, Maven?
Doing good.
What's going on, Chris? Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Happy Thanksgiving to you guys too. I think here's what we're failing to realize, because we're in a college town. This is a business to everyone else except for the players. Coach Satterfield, Vince Howard, this is all a business for them. So when someone calls, like you said, you got to listen. But the thing is, I feel like we're kind of getting big boys, because South Carolina is not big enough to call on our coach. Next year, you don't think so? I do not think so. I think we are as parallel as you can get, and we have a better chance. Coach Satterfield has a better chance somewhere in the ACC at Louisville than he does the SEC at South Carolina. And then I'm going with what you said the other day. Think about this. When we get this kid to transfer from Cincinnati and be our quarterback next year,
right?
And Coach Satterfield gets to do what he does and coach, because the vaccine should be out and he should get his kids back. He should get his hands on them, be able to coach them. And he wins 10 games next year. And Michigan wins 4. We have to save our energy and approach this differently. When Michigan comes calling on Coach Satterfield, we have to give him love and tell him how much we love him, because Michigan is bigger than us. But once Coach Satterfield starts beating the Florida States, the Miamis, and we start getting to the point where we're beating them without thinking about it, we can be a Michigan. So we have to love this guy. We have to get off his back, understand it's a business, and he has to handle his business, but he's our guy, and we love him. I'll get off and I'll listen to you.
Chris, I appreciate the call. You remember when the phrase love on them a little bit was going around the University of Louisville? Chris is the fan version of Satterfield and just say, hey man, we just gotta love on them a little bit and get these guys, you know, a little excited about, you know, about being here, about staying here, you know, being committed to the thing. And again, I do want to end this day with the disclaimer or you know, just say, listen, I 100% respect demands anybody who wants to listen to any job conversations, but listening and going through your agent, and if I hear just some chirps about that, I don't mind that at all. But I just don't. It's just the interview thing that made myself and the fan base take note. You know, like I said again, it cannot be true. That's fine too. You know, but it made me take note. And as a fan, I have the right to take note. As media, I have the right to say, okay, media credibility is important, you know, in something like the Athletic. So it's enough to conversate about.
Well, my thing is I'm with Chris on the I feel like we're getting big boyed right now by South Carolina, and I don't know if South Carolina is a better job than Louisville. I get it. You're in the SEC, and everybody wants to claim that any job in the SEC is better than a job in any other conference and all this stuff. And I get that. I get a coach wanting to go to the SEC, wanting to compete with the best and beat the best. But his opportunity is a lot better at Louisville, being potentially being a top 2 to 3 team in the ACC year in and year out, as opposed to trying to build out of the bottom. Because here's the comparison for you. If you ask a Louisville fan, and this is asking a Louisville fan, I know that there's a bias. But the point is if you ask a Louisville fan if their program is better than Kentucky's football program, they're going to say yes. And they're going to say, we're better than Kentucky's program. Kentucky just beat South Carolina, or can beat South Carolina right now, and is considered a better football team than South Carolina. So if you want to make the argument that Louisville's a better football program than Kentucky, then they're a better football program than South Carolina. And basically what you're saying is it's better to be a top tier team in the ACC than to be a bottom tier team in the SEC. And so I'm with Chris on that standpoint, but I want to make a point, and I know you guys kind of brought it up earlier. Is there any, and I'm not trying to jump to conclusions, but hypothetically he goes, does Brom get consideration as the next guy?
Consideration?
Do we go back to Brom and offer him the job again?
Put it this way. You said the word consideration. I use the word kidnap.
You just stranglehold him and say you don't get a choice this year. You're coming.
I go to Purdue, and I literally, I'm talking about literally, I put the chloroform and do the movie thing and put the brown potato sack thing. I don't want to really go into detail, but against your will, you'll be one place and then you'll be another place.
Ooh, it's magic.
And then, I don't know how you got here, but you're not going anywhere else. So when you say the word consider, although I will say the bit of, we didn't think it was much egg on Vince Tyra's face, but I think he felt like Coach Brom kind of made him look a little bad. So if there were a ripple, if there were a hurdle
on Tyra's part,
it would be like, nah, dude. Like,
no, you turned us down 2 years ago. You don't get the opportunity to turn us down again.
Yeah, it would. That to me, that would be the only.
Because I'm kind of surprised, like, you know, with all the conversation going on about this South Carolina job, that this hasn't been mentioned, because there's still that handful of fans out there that are like, I can't believe, you know, that we didn't, you know, just do everything in our power to land Jeff Brom and bring the golden boy home and all that. And so there's still those people. And then obviously with not winning as much this year, that some of that speculation for some people has come back up. I'm just surprised that as soon as the Satterfield rumors started, people weren't like, well, that's fine. If he goes, we'll just go get Brom.
Right. No, listen, that was a total done deal.
But I want Satterfield. I want that to be known before I finish that statement.
Right.
I still believe in Satterfield. I still think he's going to be the future of this program. And I don't think he's going to take the South Carolina job. And I hope he doesn't, because I actually still foresee him being a guy that maybe, just maybe, doesn't see this as a stepping stone job and maybe a destination.
Coach Satterfield was just teasing y'all. He just wanted to give his boy. He just wanted to show his team how much the fan base loves me. So Coach, y'all didn't know Coach Satterfield is the one that leaked this out. This all came from him. He was just teasing y'all. He got y'all.
He wanted to get all the support. He wanted to hear how much everybody loved him and all that so that he'd stay.
I mean, y'all act like